The economics of ambition, the rewards of ambition, the final result of working hard, burning the midnight oil, doing it until, being disciplined to stay on track, day after day, week after week, month after month. What's all this working hard going to get you? Better put, what's all this working smart going to get you? As you've followed this program on the power of ambition, as you've learned to set your goals and develop a game plan, and use the tools of reflection and discipline in putting your life together, as you're building your ambition to reach your destination, surely, somewhere in your list you wrote down wealth. I'm sure you didn't write down that you wanted to earn enough to just get by. No, you probably wrote down that you wanted to have a certain amount of money. To some it may be to earn $50,000 a year. To others it may be to earn $500,000 a year. Or $1 million. It doesn't matter. You probably wrote down what you believe that you're capable of earning if you really exercised your potential. What you want to earn the next year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, in your lifetime. And that figure probably would be viewed by the majority as being rich, getting the most from your ambition, being rewarded by your ambition. Now, I'm not talking about the incredible feelings of accomplishment. I'm talking about the tangible rewards of ambition. How wealthy should you be in knowledge and in spirit? As wealthy as you possibly can be. How rich should you be? In dollars and investments. As rich as you possibly can be. Now, I'm not talking greedy. I'm talking reward for success at the service of others, not at the expense of others. Is it okay to strive for success? Is it okay to strive to become rich and wealthy? Many people struggle with the concept of being rich. Rich people lack morals. Rich people are cutthroat. Rich people don't care. No, that's not true. Now, some rich people lack morals, are cutthroat, and don't care. But a lot of poor people have those same traits. So corruption is not inherent with being rich or wealthy. Corruption is inherent with gaining at the expense of others. Corruption is evil. But wealth is not evil. Wealth says discover your own talents and use them and take care of them, so your own talents and skills and gifts can take care of you. I firmly believe, the more that I ponder this topic of wealth, I firmly believe that it's our natural destiny to grow, to succeed, to prosper, and to find happiness. So here's what I've learned to do to temper the words rich and wealthy. I call it becoming financially independent. That's a little easier than rich or wealthy. Because some people have this idea that to be wealthy or rich, you've got to misuse people, you've got to tell lies, you've got to throw away values. If being rich bothers you, don't pursue riches. Some people even tell me that the Bible says it's hard for a rich man to reach heaven. I say, well, that language suits me. It didn't say it was impossible. It just said it was hard. I don't mind a little hard stuff. I'm also reminded that the Bible says the meek shall inherit the earth. But where does it say that in order to be meek you have to be poor? No, the Bible doesn't say you have to be poor. That's just an interpretation. A poor rationalization that lazy people use. People who need to justify their lack of progress. People who will give up in the midst of any adversity. People who don't even try. For everyone that's born in America or comes to America, here's part of your heritage. The opportunity to become financially independent. In a nation that's full of hope and promise, it's our heritage and our right and within our reach to realize all the best that exists, including personal wealth. So let me give you now, by definition, the meaning of financial independence. And kids go for this because this is simple language. Financial independence is the ability to live from the income of your own personal resources. The ability to live from the income of your own personal resources. That I describe as financial independence. Now, one part of it is how you want to live. Some people need millions for all the projects they've got going, all the causes they support. And here's what's exciting about America. What if you decided you had to be rich? To do all the things you wanted to do, go all the places, support all the projects? What if you had to be rich? Are there books on the subject? Yes, of course. There's plenty of information on how to be rich. But if you don't have to be rich, you probably won't read the books. What drives you to go get the books is if you have to have the money. Now, some people don't need much money. I understand that. Some people lead modest lives. But financial independence, that, I think, is every American's heritage. Someday to become financially independent. The ability someday to live off the income of your own personal resources. Wow, it's freedom of the most exciting kind, financial independence. Now, to get there, I assume that you've got this money thing settled, that it's okay to be rich and wealthy. It depends on how you earn it, of course. Success at the service of others, not at the expense of others. Wealth by rendering wealthy amounts of service. Everybody has got to weigh this for themselves. I understand that. But let's say that you'd like to go for becoming financially independent. Here's number one. It's a matter first of philosophy. The philosophy of the rich. Rich people invest their money and spend what's left. The difference in your economic future is going to be not the economy. The difference in your economic future is going to be your philosophy. Now, I had one lady chastise me severely. She said, Mr. Rohn, you can't promise young people that they can become rich and wealthy, financially independent. It's just not in the cards these days. It takes everything a person makes just to keep their head above water and the wolf away from the door. I said, no, that's not true. She said, it is true. You can't hold out hope to all people who listen to you telling them they can become financially independent, especially to children. They'll be sadly disillusioned. It's not in the cards these days. I said, gosh, I wish I could persuade you otherwise. I said, let me use this illustration. Can you think of a couple right now who makes $5,000 a month? She said, yes, if I think real hard, I could come up with a couple that makes $5,000 a month. What would they tell you it takes just to keep their head above water and the wolf away from the door? They would probably say, all of it. It takes $5,000 a month. I said, could you think of a couple that makes $5,500 a month? $5,500. She said, yes, if I thought for a while, I could probably come up with a couple that makes $5,500 a month. I said, what would they tell you it takes just to keep their nose above water and the wolf away from the door? They'd say, all of it. I said, now if they said it took all of it, how do you account for this extra $500? Here's what happens. There are errors in judgment on economic philosophy. You say, no, Mr. Rohn, it's the economy. No, it's the philosophy. And if this couple saved this $500 and lived like this couple over here on $5,000, their extra $500 a month invested over the next 15 years would make them financially independent. The difference is not your paycheck. The difference is your philosophy.